Hello, Augsburg University baseball alumni. Coach Bateman here, coming to you from Bateman Estates in beautiful Arden Hills, Minnesota, with another installment of Alumni Stories. Now, this week's alumni story comes to us from the class of 1959, Larry Junkermeire. And again, the late 50s, early 60s have been coming in strong with these alumni stories. So, really appreciate that, gentlemen. But we're going to hear a little bit about Coach Edor Nelson, hear a little bit about some of the boys on the 59 team, and wrap it up with kind of what Larry's doing now. So, Larry, I appreciate you getting me this story and this information. So we'll jump right in. Larry starts off. Coach, some thoughts about our 1959 conference championship season. We had very good players. Dale Thorson at first hit lots of home runs. Orrin Schuler was a good second baseman. Pete Locke coached basketball at South St. Paul, and he was at short and may have been in the service at first, which kind of also reminds me, I want to make sure, Happy Memorial Day. We have had a lot of Augsburg alumni, a lot of Augies who have served. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll keep going here. And he was an excellent leader and player. His daughter married Phil Housley, and she is in the Minnesota legislature. Frank Hawks, remember Frank? We heard about him. He's a tough guy, competitor. Frank Hawks, the old timer, filled in at third and did a good job. He was an AD and coach at Cannon Falls. Our outfielders were Jim Roback, who was a freshman, fast, and good leadoff. Coach Roback, I knew you were fast. Just the way you move, buddy. I knew you were fast. Bruce Gilseth was freshman and he hit home runs along with Chuck Faring. Our pitchers were Dennis Calpine, also starting quarterback. Lowell Zeman, it's my man Zeke, coached lots of high school basketball and played at Augsburg. Shelly Johnson was an unhittable lefty from Kirkhoven. He did have some shoulder problems, but he was a great closer and became a high school superintendent. Edor Nelson, our coach, would hit infield pop-ups endlessly anywhere he wanted. Dale, at first, had an erratic arm, so when throwing home, he would hit Edor, who was hitting grounders. He would give Dale a scolding for hitting him. Kind of a side story there. I have been hit in the knee hitting ground balls during in-out. It was down in Arizona, hit me in the knee. Usually I try to just shake that stuff off and keep going. I couldn't feel my leg from the knee down, so the legend Pat Marsh had to finish IO for me. Only time I've ever been taken out of IO. So, and Larry was fortunate to be the catcher. Also, want to go back. Shelly Johnson showed up maybe over a decade ago to an alumni game, brought his old spikes, got up on the hill, threw some pitches. It was awesome. I appreciate that, Shelly. I hope my guys remember that too. I was fortunate to be a catcher. Okay. My highlight was against McAllister at Parade. It was about the seventh inning with a man on third, so a fly ball would be good. Lo and behold, it sailed over the fence for my only college home run. I did have a good batting average, though. St. Mary's had another good old veteran coach, and we've talked about him, Max Moloch. He and Edor had a contest hitting fungos to a spot in the outfield before our game. That's awesome. I need to think about doing that. He goes, good old days. It seems like all these guys plays other sports at Augsburg and later coached high school sports. My junior year, Howie Pearson talked me into running track and field a few times. I was in good shape from wrestling, and I won my letter against St. Thomas with 2 firsts in the mile and the 2 mile. Geez, I get bored driving a mile. I lettered in football, wrestling, track, and baseball my junior year. My senior year, Edor said he didn't want me missing any baseball for track, so I didn't. Augsburg was a great school for a farm boy from Atwater, like myself. Edor was a great man who coached me in football, wrestling, and baseball. He was the man behind me getting into the Hall of Fame. Well, Larry, I'm sure he helped it along, but your athletic ability didn't hurt either. Coach, thought I'd just give my recollections of Augsburg. I'm still jogging 3 miles a day, playing tennis, pickleball, softball. It's great. 1959 was 61 years ago. I taught at Sauk Rapids. He head wrestling coach, assistant football coach. Then Wilmer, head wrestling, assistant football. Then White Bear, head wrestling, assistant football. Man, Larry, you have done a lot. I love this story. I love how you touch on a lot of the guys who you played with. And it's really cool to hear about Edor. I would have loved to have seen Edor hit some fungos. I bet you he could put it in a Dixie cup if he wanted to. So thank you so much, Larry. Looking forward to some other stories. Hope everybody is doing well. Pray that everybody's family is healthy. I look forward to seeing you at Parade in the spring, and go Augies.